Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. We're here today at the Cleveland Public Library. We're here with Joyce Brabner. Joyce, thanks for talking with us today.
And you absolutely insist that I spin around with this little tiny iPhone because somebody told you this was art. Okay, we'll do it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for doing what you're doing here and starting this Harvey Pekar library card. How cool is that?
I didn't start it. This was their own idea, and it was terrific because we wanted the libraries to benefit from things, and I let people know that the artwork from Harvey Pekar Cleveland, which is exquisitely rendered by Joseph Remnant, could be available for things like T-shirts or book bags or something.
Show your card. You just got your card, right?
But they did this.
They did this.
They did this. It's their idea, and they called me up, and I came down and got a card.
And why did you say yes to this? Because you're getting hit up all the time by
Why
people.
did I say yes? Because we are the people of the book. We are the people for whom a library card is so much better than a charge card. We are the people who go to the People's University. Harvey was an autodidact, and if you look at my Facebook page, oh God, don't look at my Facebook page. Anyway, it says I was educated at public libraries.
Seriously. And he took that seriously. I mean, he spent his time in libraries. He didn't just talk about it. He didn't just vote for the levy, right?
No,
he was there.
He was there every single day working. And some of that is because now as our libraries become electronic, they were able to patch them through the internet because Harvey didn't type and he didn't use the internet and he didn't do something that he called Twitter.
He was a precursor to all this.
He was an actual writer, hands-on.
He was a writer.
He knew what a pencil was.
Libraries have been so important to you as well.
Absolutely.
You're a writer as well, your family. I mean, talk about the importance of just the library system. It's the best in the world in this region.
I brought my mother here, and she's ready to move in. She was blown away. I brought her down to the Heights Library, the main, which
Sure.
Is beautifully rendered and open. But for us, I had a pretty migratory childhood, you could say. I didn't really have a consistent address, but there was something that was always consistent. We always had library cards. We always had a place to get books, and as many as I could carry home. And I'd take 6 mystery novels or Oz books home one day, walk 2 miles, and come back and get them the next day. When I had an allowance, I had a 20 cents allowance. That was enough to go get 2 Superman comics a week, or better still, read them at the spinner rack and use the money to go down on the bus to the library and get the Oz books that had much better illustrations and much better roles for women.
Much better roles for women.
Absolutely.
Hey, congratulations also on the statue at the other library out there in Cleveland Heights University
Go and take
Heights.
a look at it. It's not a Harvey Pekar statue. It's a comics as art and literature statue and desk. And it's built to let you sit there and write your own comics. You can either pull out some art supplies from one of the drawers, you can pull out a big drawer and see what Harvey kept in his drawer, or you can go around the back. There's a chalkboard. You can draw your own comics on it.
That is so sweet,
Yeah.
And you raised some money on Kickstarter. You're
Raised
able to
money
get
on
that
Kickstarter,
done.
got it through. Had a fabulous team of sculptors and artisans and artists working with me who did a great job. And we're looking to do some projects like that in the future. So.
It's such an honor to Harvey, who was really an intellectual, a working class intellectual. He was interested in jazz and music. He would write about music, history.
People say working class intellectual, like that's unusual. And it's that dancing dog thing, that you don't wonder, how well the dog dances, but that he dances at all. Harvey was simply an intellectual who had a job. And there's a hell of a lot more of us than there are academics.
Excellent point, Joyce, as usual. That is so awesome. I understand that you melted down your wedding ring to be a part of this monument.
Yeah, I had a friend who was widowed as well, and he asked me, when do you take it off? And I said, I really don't know. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought that since Danielle is getting Harvey's wedding ring, our Danielle, asked me to give her that I would take mine off. And we checked, and I put it in. There's a video, actually, that I've got. I put it in the crucible, and it's part of the statue, which is, I think, a good place to put it.
You mentioned Danielle. Talk about her a little bit. She had some challenges coming back into the country?
I don't talk about Danielle. Danielle talks for herself. You can ask her.
I will. We'll talk with Danielle. What's your plans now? What else are
My
you
plans?
working on?
I have been offered a 13-book series,
Wow.
comics, working with my friend and colleague Alan Moore, and so we're looking at that. I also have a couple of other. I have a book that's coming out called the Columbian Arts Council Grant that's being illustrated as we speak by Mark Signorelli. And that's because when I had to stop writing, to take care of Harvey, which was absolutely fine with me. But there were 2 books that we were doing together to finish, and a lot of other things. And then there's this business of getting all the packing materials out of my house, because when you have about 1,000 people behind you, it's a Kickstarter campaign. You got to do a lot of, and it's just the Keebler elves and me doing the job.
What is Harvey's legacy going to be, do you think, in this region? He's one of the most important figures. We were over at the West Side Market. Some guy said he came to Cleveland literally because of the food scene here and Harvey Pekar. I mean, it's not trivial. What do you think his long-term legacy is going to be beyond his images being on a library card, which is cool?
I don't know. It's not real appropriate for me. I mean, I know what it meant to me. He brought me to Cleveland. He gave me a home. I've wanted, like I said, I was migratory, and I ended up with a neighborhood and a home and a place that I felt like I belonged, where people were smart and, clear thinking and down to earth, and where we had trees. I like that. What did Harvey bring here? I would hope it's encouragement, because that's the one thing he was about was, it didn't matter if you had the chops or not. He'd sit down and talk to anybody and about work and about how to make things better. He was a guy. I don't think it's talent that gets you through. It's work. I mean, talent just shows you what you're interested in. Work is what shows that you can do it. So I think, if anything, he brought work back into the realm of art, which is where it belongs. It's not magic. Anybody's life is potentially the source of a great novel or a movie or a comic book, and comics are just words and pictures. You can do anything with any kind of words, any kind of pictures. That's what he was about. And that's what it says on the statue.
And that is a tremendous legacy. And thank you for working with the library system here to bring these libraries to more and more people in this new digital age, where Harvey probably wouldn't have felt so comfortable, but he still found a way.
The libraries are the best deal in town. These are the true community centers.
Well said. Thank you so much for taking time to talk, Joyce. Okay. Thank you. Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.